Hello and welcome to the Freedom One Show. This is Paul DeWarian with Awesome Dynamic, and with me I have our co-host, and that's going to be, we're going to bring up Robin first here.
And
That's
it's the Awesome Dynamic webinar, not the Freedom One.
what did I say? Did I say
Freedom
Freedom One?
One show.
Oh, I'm just so used to saying the Awesome Dynamic Show. That's what it is. And Robin, you're on camera now. This is Robin Mordini with Awesome Dynamic, coming to us from Highland Park, Illinois. And then we also have Blake here from Deerfield Beach, Florida. And like I was saying before when I was practicing, we're passionate about something that everyone should be concerned about, and that's getting found online. So those of you that are joining us, if you have any questions, we'd love to answer those questions. If you're watching this webinar live, in the lower right-hand corner, you can click the Ask a Question button. It's green. We'll see that question. I'll put a little yellow star on that to let you know that I've seen it. And as we go through the show, slash webinar, we'll be able to answer your specific questions. So that's what we're here to do. So that being said, Blake is going to be taking show notes and give us the detailed information about what happened in the webinar. So if you come back and watch this recording, you'll be able to look at that. All the different resources and links that we talk about will be in there. And Robin's going to help us go through some of the specific evaluation analysis or anything else that we could do to help your business grow online. So that being said, Robin, would you mind sharing out your screen and tell us a little bit about the Awesome Dynamic Academy? This is a new program. I'm going to give her a second to bring that up, and I'll share her screen out. New program that we're bringing up. We're really excited about it. It's a do-it-yourself search engine optimization program where you'll be able to help yourself get found online. I'm going to share that screen out here. So we're looking at Robin's screen, and it's going to help you get on the map and have people actually find you online. And Robin, would you like to give us a brief overview of what we have here?
Sure. So the Awesome Dynamic Academy is compiled of over 150 courses, and it shows you really how to do your own SEO. And you can do it yourself or hire a team or have people that are existing that work at your business or interns or anyone who is associated already with your business to do this in their free time. So although SEO is a full-time job, you can split it up between people that work already and at your business, and we have 3 price points. It's starting at $49 per month, so it's very affordable. And we do these live webinars every Thursday, so you'll get access to them. And yeah, there's videos, and there's also text, and you can learn a lot from it. So
yeah, lots of great information. So I've been talking to a lot of folks in my networking group. They're really excited about it, and we're going to be launching that next week. And again, I wanted to remind everyone, if you're watching live, down in the lower right-hand corner, you can click on the Ask a Question button to ask any specific questions that you have. And if that's a question about how to get found on Google, why is my competitor ahead of me, how come I have 2 listings on Google, what should I be doing with my Facebook page, how do I make my website generate leads, real phone calls, or contacts through the contact form, any of those different types of questions. We'd love to answer those specific questions for you, and that's why we're here during these webinars to help you with those specific questions. Also, if you'd like to introduce yourself, use the same format there. Just put in the Ask a Question, your first and last name, company you're with, and the website that you have. We'd be happy to do a shout-out, show your website on the show, and also answer any specific questions. We could do an analysis, tell you some things that you could use to clean up your website to make it generate more leads or become more optimized in terms of what Google's looking for. And Robin has up on her screen the awesomedynamic.com site. She was showing off our different events. Robin, would you like to go over what we have here?
sure, we have a whole bunch of free webinars where you can ask any of your questions, and if you're local, we do have review parties where you can get more reviews on your Google page, and which can boost you ahead of your competitors. And then We also have the email list right here if you want to know more about any of these items. It is a free email list, and we can tell you exactly what you want to know, more events, or if you want to see Paul speak, or if you want to see, and if you need information on Amazon, selling your products, anything like that, you can sign up right here.
And who doesn't want to see me speak? I mean,
And we also have, under search engine optimization, we also have a free sign up. If you want to sign up for that Awesome Dynamic Academy program, we are giving a limited amount of free trials, so you can definitely sign up for that.
fantastic. All right, so one thing that I want to revisit, I talked with, remember Dawn Bloomkey with Black Diamond Charities, Robin?
Yes.
So we helped her create a local Google My Business page, and we did the instant verification through our partnership with Google, with Tim at Google, and turns out that it disappeared. So I don't know why that happened, but I figured that if you're up for it, we can go through and do that really quickly to get that back on. Are you down for that, Robin?
Yeah.
All right, I'll send you the her login information to your computer, so this way you're able to log in, and we'll get her cleaned up again, and this way she'll be set to go. While Robin's getting that set up, one of the reasons why it's so important to have a local listing for your business is it allows people to find you in the map. If you're not on the map, no one's going to be able to find you, and having a Google My Business listing is really important to make that happen. And Robin, we're actually going to create a new Google My Business listing from scratch. So it actually just disappeared. So I sent you the username and password to her Gmail account. So if you would, in a incognito window, give that a shot, and we'll set up a new local listing for her again, and then we'll do the manual verification process. But going back to why this is so important, just getting on the map first of all can generate business. If people can find you online through, if you're not on the map, it's less likely that they're going to be able to find you in the local results. There's so many situations where we've helped a business just get on the map to begin with, and all of a sudden they begin getting more phone calls than they've had before, just because they weren't on the map and now they are. And then secondly, by having a local listing, people can review your business on Google, and those reviews show up on the local search results. So what Robin's doing right now, she's just going to set up a listing. And Robin, if you just want to concentrate on doing that, I'll kind of talk through what you're working on here. And it is really easy to do. I mean, first thing Robin did, she jumped over to gybo.com. She punched in the business name. It didn't show up, so she was putting in the address here. And then it immediately gets you to the point where it's asking you for the business name, some more information about the business. So she's grabbing all that information from the blackdiamondcharities.org website. So I felt bad for Dawn. We helped her do this in one of the other webinars, and it did not stick for whatever reason. So I'm going to use this show/webinar as proof to Tim at Google that we actually did do it on Dawn's profile. We can see in the upper right it has her name, which is connected to her Google account, and we're putting in the zip code, the state here, the main business phone number, which we're going to take from the website. These elements, the name, address, and phone number, are super important to getting your business found online. In fact, once you have your listing claimed and verified, getting everything else that's out there on the internet to match the name, address, and phone number of your Google listing is one huge ranking factor in getting your listing higher up in the search results, especially in the local results. So you can see Robin is editing the name of the street there. Instead of drive, she made a DR. Google tends to abbreviate everything without any punctuation. So if you have a street or a drive or an avenue or a boulevard, you want to use the abbreviated version of that, because that's how their mapping system's set up. It's easier to use what they already have rather than trying to change Google Maps into what you would like it to be. So Robin, you just essentially got to the point where it's going to ask you to verify, and this is where it says mail me my code. And what's really interesting, because of our partnership with Google, we're able to, when Robin clicks that button, we're able to submit a special form to Google that will allow us to verify this information instantly with them, and then they'll verify the location and the business, and then we'll be able to get in and make some additional modifications.
Is this how you spell Bloomkey?
Yeah, Bluemke, I
Okay.
believe is it. All right.
All right.
All right. And just a quick walkthrough here. Should I see if I still have the logo that we had before?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And the marker is not in the correct location according to Don.
Right.
So that might be why it disappeared.
Could be. But again, we got proof now for Tim. It's all documented on video now.
Well, we have a document on video from the last webinar.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Twice. So anyhow, we have this screen here. We're able to edit multiple things about the business here. Robin, do you want to walk us through what we can do?
Sure. Okay, so business name you actually cannot change until you verify your listing. The address, you can go ahead and come in here and actually move this marker around. You can press edit marker location and change it to the correct space. And you can also say if you deliver your goods and services to customers at their location, you can actually pick the radius. All right. And then contact info, we can go ahead and enter in the URL right here. We have the phone number, URL, and if we wanted to add more, if you had additional phone numbers or something like that, you could add that. And then we can actually add more categories. So if we had, there really wasn't, the categories are very limited. There really wasn't a lot. What they do is actually they help out like military families, and they fill backpacks for kids for back to school to help assist them. And so I can see if there's anything with schools. It looks like this is probably the only category that's going to work is the charity one. And push save. If you can add, I would say up to maybe 5 additional categories, and that is your primary right here. You can see that the first one is going to show up with your listing. The rest are just secondary, and they can help you show up in more search results. Okay, hours of operation. I don't think she has it on her site, but for right now we'll just do office hours. We can always come back and change these. All right, and you can see that the hours are in there now. And then this would be better to write original content right here, but I'll just copy and paste this for now. And we can also do mission. Okay, and we can add a link in here. We can do a lot of different stuff in here. Okay, and press done editing. And then we're going to add a logo in here. And do we have the logo in the...
I couldn't find, I think I emailed it to you last time. Let me see if I can find that email, get it over to you again. Otherwise, there's other items. What's that virtual tour about?
All right, so this is actually, so you can go into businesses. It's very similar. It's part of Google Street View, actually. So if you've ever been to Google Maps and you can walk down the street on Google Maps, you can actually walk into businesses like this. And you can walk around and you can see if you want to, it's great for restaurants because you can see if you want to book it, as a party room, and it's great for a whole lot of different businesses. And you can see that I can go right onto the street as well. So very cool. In order to do this, you actually can't do it on your own. You have to be either a Google certified agency or you have to be a trusted photographer, which Awesome Dynamic is. And you can see right here on our home page, we do Google Maps Business View in addition to websites and search engine optimization.
They're changing the name of it, by the way. They're going to call it Google Maps Street View Trusted. That's the new name of it now, I guess. So that's something that we'll have to rename it, I guess.
Yeah.
And do a 301 redirect.
And you can see that we do have, it's 70% complete right now. When we add the picture, the logo right here, which is, by the way, 250 pixels by 250 pixels,
I
will
just
fit
sent you
right
that
in there.
logo again, so it might be at the top of your inbox now.
Okay, great.
I don't know
I'm
if
going to
that
go ahead
works
and
for you.
download that to the desktop.
If I remember correctly, we had trouble getting that in too. Like it was, I know it's exactly 250 by 250, but I think last time we had trouble uploading it.
Yeah, and it's a PNG, so it should be fine. But let's just go ahead and try it. Okay.
Ah, I
Plan.
just one of my other employees, who's also my brother Tim, is also watching the webinar live, and he just corrected me. He said it's called Google Street View Trusted. So Google Street View is one word, and then there's like a vertical line, trusted. So just in
All
case
right.
you're taking
Let's
diligent notes like Mr. Blake Tintori. Ah,
see.
look
It
at
is
that.
quite blurry, but you can always change the pixels and make it look nice. Okay, and it does have a clear background, so it looks really nice in there. And then if I go under Manage Photos,
And what's the advantage of leaving photos on the listing? That's a rhetorical question, Robin. I'll answer. Uh, the advantage of having the photos on there is so people can see information about your business. So some things that we could put in there, maybe these slides from the slideshow, give us an idea of what they're about. If you don't know about Black Diamond Charities, they help school children who are from poverty-stricken families that can't afford school supplies. So they actually create backpacks for them, fill them with school supplies, so this way they can go to school and actually have the same supplies that some of their counterparts that don't have the same financial difficulties at school. So it's a great cause that they have there. They also do something with veterans. I haven't learned about what that exactly is, but I know that they do. Robin's cropping up some photos, throwing it in there, and
you can also add interior, exterior photos, team photos, and you can add any kind of photos in here that'll actually help you on the knowledge graph, which is, let's say,
show off
restaurant.
that knowledge graph.
I'll
A lot of people don't know that's what it's called, but if you go to the homepage of Google and search for something, and
just try restaurant. Maybe that'll pop it up. Sometimes it pops up on the right here, sometimes it doesn't.
if you click on one of those, or you might hover over it, is it going to show up? They're always changing what the homepage of Google does, but it's essentially that white space on the right side that's blank now is where you'll get the knowledge graph.
You know what? It pops up with celebrities a lot. I'm going to do Snoop Dogg. So here's like a knowledge graph right here. And so if this was your business, you would have, your main pictures here, and then you would have like your description here and possibly some reviews down here.
Yeah, I just did a search for Trinell Financial Group yesterday, and the knowledge graph popped up specifically for them. See if it's coming
Let's
up today.
see. Yep, like something like this.
Right.
So this is like some of their photos. Here's their virtual tour. There's the Google map for it. Their stars show up. Their reviews show up right here. And you can see that there's some keywords in there that show up, their hours. So it's really convenient, especially when you're searching for like, sometimes I use it to search for like a grocery store in the area, and you can see their hours. So this is directly from your Google page right here.
Right. So anything that you put in here is going to show up on that knowledge graph, and you can drill into the Google My Business page and see more information about it. If you were to go back to that Trinell Financial Group tab, you can drill into that. But we're not going to do that right now. Let's get the rest of this cleaned
So
up.
we're 90% complete. In order to get the next 10%, we would have to add a virtual tour. And you can see that you can request a quote, or you can, ask us directly. And then what we do is we take like panoramic shots and then we stitch them together. So you do have to hire an agency or a photographer to do it.
Right.
Okay, so
Now,
that
just
is all
because
we
we're
can do so
90%
far.
complete, does that mean I shouldn't do anything else with this as it is, or is there more that I could do?
No, you can do a ton. You can add more pictures under manage photos. If you had a change of business hours, let's say your summer hours change, you could change those. What I would do right now is verify your listing, and we do have the postcard coming. That would take a few weeks. So instead, what we can do is actually fill out, since Awesome Dynamic is a trusted agency, we can actually fill out this page for Dawn, and she'll get verified pretty much instantly. It usually says, yeah, 2 to 3 days versus, 2 to 3 weeks with the postcard.
And this website, it redirects to where you're at now. So if you look at Robin's address bar at the top, it says docs.google.com/a/awesome dynamic, yada, 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 yada. But the shortcut for that is gybo.com/verify my business, all one word. And Blake will put that in the show notes. So Blake, I'm going to message that to you so you can throw that in there, okay? And that's over to Blake now. So we'll put that in the show notes and also chat it on this webinar as well. So those of you watching can get in there and do that. And by the way, as Robin's filling this out, and don't hit the submit button yet, Robin. I want to talk about those last 3 fields. But if any of you folks have any questions, on the lower right-hand corner, there's of your screen. If you're logged in with your Google account on Google Hangouts, you'll be able to ask us questions. We'll answer any of your specific questions about your website, how to get found online, what you can do to improve your website, etc. We'd love to answer all those different questions. Looking at Robin's form here, the last 3 fields are really the ones where you have to put in Awesome Dynamic. Webinar is the how you got access to this form, then, or the Awesome Dynamic show is what I'd like to rebrand it as. Then we have what organization hosted, and then you say awesomedynamic.com, and then you put my email address, Paul at Awesome Dynamic, as the partner. And you'll notice at the top, we just put Dawn's name, the business name and city. Did you put Black Diamond Charities in there, Robin, as well as the city? And then the Gmail account that was used to claim or to set it up. So then we're going to put this through, click the little box that says I'm authorized, and then Dawn's going to get an email from Tim at Google saying that this is ready to go. Excellent. Right. And then I'll send this video over to Dawn as well so she can see that we did it again for her. And she did attend the other webinar when we did it the first time. For some reason, it didn't go through. So I wanted to get that completed there so we can get this going.
All right.
All right. Robin, you have a new blog for this week? I was curious if you had something.
Oh, I was going to go over, Google penalties. So how to identify them and how to recover from them.
All right.
Okay, so.
Now, when they do a penalty, do they send the Google police to your house or business and put you in jail?
They actually, you can get blacklisted off of Google for a penalty, and they won't hunt you down and come to your house. But I think it's worse to get blacklisted off Google, because then your business is not anywhere online for the most part.
Right.
Okay, so first off, why is this even important? Well, if you're not ranking on Google and you want to sell online, then, or at least raise brand awareness, and you have to be on Google. Google has about 86% of the market right now, and it's always growing. So when we talk about Google, I'm talking really about all search engines, but they do own the majority of the market. All right. So this is how you can identify if you actually have a penalty on your site, and penalties are anything that are wrong with your site that you need to fix and that can hurt your ranking online and put you below your competitors. So we can actually go to Google Webmaster Tools, and that is a resource that will tell you exactly what's wrong with your site. And we can check page, let's see, Google So Webmaster Tools is right here. This is what it looks like. You do have to connect your website to it, and you can see that it sends you messages. We don't have any messages right now, so that means no penalties, but I'm on my personal one. If I'm under the Awesome Dynamic one, it will tell me, you know, what penalties I have, and you can actually get these messages forwarded to your regular email, so you don't have to check this email all the time. And then we have, let's see, what else can we check? Well, you can also look at Google Analytics. That will tell you if you have any errors, broken links, penalties, things like that. Then we have siteliner.com. You just go ahead and put in your website. So if we did like blackdiamondcharities.org, I think it is. Yep. And we can see if there's anything, if we have duplicate content, broken links, and it's going to keep loading and changing numbers over here. And while I have that loading, I'll show you another one you can check if you have any broken items. Let's see. Ahrefs is a good one, PageSpeed Insights, and we can try that with Black Diamond Charities as well. And while that's analyzing and running, I can also check mobile-friendly test. I just Googled mobile-friendly test, and this is the Google one. And put Black Diamond Charities in there. So here's a bunch we can check just to see if we have any penalties or anything like that. So it says 24 pages were not scanned, but it looks like we do have some duplicate content, which can that can definitely harm your site if you have either copied and pasted content from other sites or even within your own site. And we'll tell you exactly where it is. So you can see that anything highlighted here, these are the items that have matching words and duplicate content. So this is stuff that you can rewrite. And it says right here that about 500 of the 900 words, so 57% of this page is duplicate content. So we'd either have to make sure that Google doesn't list this in their search engine by pressing no index, no follow on this web page, or we can rewrite the page with original content. And you can see that, you know, about 70% is duplicate content. And that could include items even as simple as if you have items at the bottom that are the same on every page but not in the footer, you can move that content down to the footer so that it's not duplicate content. And you can do that the same thing with the header.
Is I was working with a client that had a giant disclaimer. It was a very long disclaimer, and they had it down on their footer, and I suggested, why don't we make a terms and conditions page, much like what Black Diamond Charities has there, and put all that text on the one page rather than repeating it at the bottom of every single page.
Yeah, exactly.
Which really then you're not duplicating it on your own website then.
And let's see, we don't have any broken links right now, but if we did, we would have to do 401 redirects. And then PageSpeed Insights, we can see that our mobile score is 41 out of 100, so it's not, and we can check if it's mobile friendly. So it does say it's mobile friendly, but you can see it passes the test because this is like a thumbs up or thumbs down, the mobile friendly test. But then to really know what you need to do, you would dive into all these things. So it's great that it's mobile friendly, but you can see that there's a difference between passing Google's test and being user friendly. So we want to make sure that the text is easy to read. You don't have to scroll horizontally left and right. You can just scroll down. The menu looks good because you can just pop that down, but you also want to make sure that you have, it tells you right here, like a lot of times on mobile you want to make sure that the pictures are a good size so that they load quickly. And yeah, there's all these little details that you can fix right here.
And right here, I mean, essentially, you know, you have a great score in the user experience because you have a mobile site, but the speed is what's really getting you here. And sometimes the speed is, well, in this case, it's all about how the site was built. So if you're using any sort of website program that doesn't adhere to some of the different industry standard type things to keep keep the site loading fast, then that's where you're going to find some of these issues. So, for example, it says eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS and above the full content. Basically, what that means is instead of loading all the technical stuff that makes the menu work, you can see on our site it's got like a drop-down menu thing, and maybe the JavaScript or the code that makes the slideshow work. Just load the pictures and text right away, and that's what that's really saying. And then have all that technical stuff that makes the menu functional load last. So if somebody's got a 3G connection with their phone, they're not waiting forever for the stuff that they never see on the screen to load. They're actually seeing something right away, which will make them be more engaged with the website right away. Then we have this next section that Robin scrolled down to, which is the photos. And if your photos aren't optimized can mean, in this case, we're talking about the file size of the photos. If you're uploading giant files onto your website and you're not optimizing them or reducing the file size and the physical size of the photo initially, that's going to cause some issues with the speed, because the larger the file size, the larger the photo, the longer it takes to load. And especially on mobile devices, again, with a 4G connect or 3G connection, that could really cause the site to load extremely slow, and that's not good. So Google really wants the user experience to be good, and although from a purely topical standpoint, the user experience is good, the fast loading time isn't good. Which means they never get a chance to do use the website before they get frustrated and go somewhere else because the site didn't load. So look at it from that perspective. You got to get your site loading fast.
Yeah, and these are all very technical details. So what I would do is just make sure that your web team knows exactly what these problems are and make sure that they're fixing these. And it's actually quite unusual to have such a low speed. Rating for your speed and have such a high user experience. They're usually one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's look at the desktop. Same kind of score, 45 out of 100.
Passed one rule.
Yeah, but they don't have any broken links, so that's good. All right, and then, mobile-friendly tests we went over, so it is mobile-friendly. So these are all just little things that you can check to make sure your web team is fixing all of these. And then, all right, so you can check all these little things. The mobile-friendly thing became very important actually on April 21st. So that was kind of Google's unofficial deadline for updating to kind of, this decade. So, so if you don't have a mobile-friendly, because everyone's on their mobile devices now.
Right. So, so that's a great way to identify the penalties. And then, what was the other blog article you wanted to highlight there?
This one is how to recover from those. So this is after you've gotten the penalty, and the way you would see if you got a penalty is you can see like your traffic goes down, or you check all of these items and you see that they're not done. So it'd be pretty obvious that you have a penalty. And Google will just tell you if you have a penalty. And if you're not showing up on Google results as you usually do, that could be a big indication too that you have a penalty. So you have a ton of options actually to recover from this. The standpoint that Google kind of takes is that they want your website to be great. They don't want to penalize you. They just want you to fix it. So there's tons of resources. Like you can actually go to Google and submit a reconsideration request. So go ahead and fix the changes and then resubmit. It usually takes, it can be as fast as 1 week to up to several months. So that is one option though. Make sure to write a really convincing one. Tell them all in great detail what you did to fix all of the different items and show them on your website, and you can get that penalty removed and start ranking well again. Another thing you can do is just fix your content. We usually recommend about 1,500 page words on the home page, and you can see like on the Awesome Dynamic page, the way we broke up that text is with pictures, and you can see events, call to action buttons, and there's tons of videos, and we'll have like for example on the search engine optimization page we have tons of content, but we break it up with different pictures on the side. These are called parallaxes, And you can see that it's a lot easier to read. There's headers. There's, we have some different bullets or just little things that'll make it easier to read, kind of like a magazine more than more than a novel. So that's some different method you can take to get your content easily on there. And for your service pages and product pages, a minimum of 300 to 600 words. So just having great content and updating your blog constantly, those are two things that you want to do in order to get, make your website fresh and keep it ranking well. That can definitely recover you from a penalty because about 2 updates ago, Google really started penalizing thin content. So if you really don't have any type of content on your website, that's something that will leave you behind your competitors. And then we also went over responsive website. That as of April 21st, that'll be a huge penalty, and you will go underneath your competitors if you don't have a mobile-friendly website, because I think it's definitely over 70% now use their mobile phone for most of their Google searches, and it's moving towards that for purchasing as well. All right, and
it's bad. It's really bad.
What?
I'm just reading the last bullet there.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely ask an SEO. If you want to know what's wrong with your site, we can do a full audit, or we could do just a consultation if you want to ask us how to improve your site. And then what we also had is, I thought this was a really clever solution too. A lot of people will have that same exact penalty that you have if you have a penalty in the past, so you can just see what they did. There's also the Google support number. You can actually call Google support. There's not an actual phone number. What you can do is, I have a link on another blog.
Yeah, she's going to show us.
So you can go to...
It's super easy. I mean, you can even Google support.
Yeah, it's called Google Phone Support or Google My Business Help. All you do is press Contact Us, and it has to be during their business hours. And you press Request a Call, and you put in you put in if you're the owner, an employee, how do you manage your business, mostly from the computer. And then you put in your name, and then the email address should be associated with your Google account. So whatever email address you use to sign up, or like your Gmail address. And then this box is pretty hard to see, but it's right next to it. You put in your phone number, and then they call you instantly. Then there's usually a wait. It depends on what time. If you call off peak hours, they'll answer right away. The most I've ever waited is probably 25 minutes.
How's the hold music, Robin? Is it like a jazzy thing, or?
It's like pop music.
Pop?
Yeah.
Any Michael Jackson in there at all? Like, are we talking
it's mostly
80s,
like
90s
Lady
pop?
Gaga and like.
All right.
It's like modern pop.
I just want to make sure that
Beyonce.
people have the right expectation what kind of music they have.
It's definitely not classical.
Okay.
So yeah, really easy to actually call Google. A lot of people don't know that you can call Google directly for any questions.
Great, great.
And it's mostly, that line is mostly for your Google My Business listing, but you can also ask other questions.
Right. Well, I think you can just call and ask them to put you at the top of Google, can't you? Can you just make me #1, please?
You can try. So yeah, that's exactly how you would get, rid of your penalties if you have any. And I like talking about this too, white hat SEO.
Well, there's white hat, gray hat, black hat. Yeah, there should be a red hat. I don't know what.
There is red hat. Yeah.
Is there? Okay.
Linda coined the phrase from.
That's right. I
engine.
must have remembered that for a reason then.
We can give Linda a shout out. Localsearchforum.com. If you have any SEO questions, this is like an industry platform, and there's a lot of opinions out there. It's like a thread forum thing, and she coined the phrase red hat, which is basically, I think it's like local search. We can type it in here.
Red hat.
Anything like hyper localized. Yeah, but Linda definitely coined this phrase.
Yeah. We do it, or Robin attends other webinars, SEO experts from around the world, just to keep us up to date on everything that's going on. Robin, I wanted to take a look at WL Engler.
Oh,
There,
sure. Yeah, this is what it is.
there you go. And she even
So it's
says, "I
basically
coined the
thinking
term."
outside the box. Yeah.
Maybe
It's really hyper localized, advanced techniques, trying out different stuff. Like,
you think we could get Linda on as a guest in our Awesome Dynamics show?
yeah, I think she would love to.
Okay, then we'll have to make it happen.
All right.
Do
And
you
then
want to?
W Angler.
Yeah, W Angler. So this is a customer of ours. I met with them yesterday. They're gonna work with us to get some of these locations. And Robin, if you go back to that last screen, you can see all those locations that show up. They have a lot of locations in the
Yes.
Chicagoland area, not only in the city of Chicago, but also Aurora, Mendota, Kankakee,
And they're showing
and
up so nicely here because we did a separate Google Plus page for each one of them.
that is correct. And I saw that our viewer count has changed, so I try and do this often. If you have any specific questions, on the right corner, right lower right-hand corner of your screen, click on Ask Question and tell us who you are, your name, your website. We'd love to evaluate your website, answer any questions you have. But going back to WL Angler here on the phone, they have all these different locations, and they weren't showing up on the map before because the locations weren't claimed and verified.
Yeah, this is a perfect example of multi-location small businesses where you can have uh, a hyper-localized website for them. You can do different blogs for them, and each page, you can have different reviews for each one of their Google Plus pages. Or
And you
not
can
called
see,
Google My Business.
right, right. And I was talking to him yesterday about these pages, and actually, if you look at the Google Plus, or rather Google My Business page, for each of these, you'll see that they link to the location pages on their website. So they're not just linking to the home page; they're actually linking to the specific page on their site that's related to that location, which is important. And then they can further increase their visibility online by filling out more on their Google My Business page, more on their website, on the page that's related to it, etc.
And here's a trend that Google is moving towards. You used to be able to go to the maps and find the location, then go to a separate web page that had their entire, Google page. But what they've been doing lately is just incorporating it directly into Google. And they've been doing this with like hotel booking as well. So they actually don't want you to, it looks like, leave Google in order to get the information. Because you can see from right here, I've got the street view, photos, hours, I've got everything I need right here.
You see where that white van is? That's exactly where I parked in that first photo. And you know what? This gave me a really good idea of where I was going. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't think about is not only, yeah, it's right next to the highway, literally. So by seeing that photo on there, I knew that that's where I would need to park and go into the business. And further that, even on their website, they could put a picture on their Chicago page, so this way I know that's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm in the right place.
Yeah, and this would be a great example of putting your map marker in the correct location, because when someone GPSes it there, you don't want them to end up on this side of the building with the highway. You want them to end up at the entrance in the parking lot on the other side.
Right, right. So they have this location. We kind of looked at that a little bit with them. You can see actually yesterday when I met with them, they didn't have a period after the ink, and I talked with them and they fixed them all so they have the period, and they're really excited to begin working on all their citations, getting all the different citations fixed up that match their listing here. But I was curious, if we take a look at the Aurora location, can we take a look at that one, Robin?
Sure.
And we can see here we just have a photo of the logo here, and they really have an opportunity here to put a photo of what does the front of this place look like, so I know I'm in the right place. And we can see there's no reviews on this one, so we could get some reviews on there. We talked about how if you don't have at least 5 reviews, the gold stars don't show up, so they need to work on that, and they said they will be. They're going to be talking to some of their happy customers and asking them to leave a review on that listing. And they're going to be doing that for all 4 of their listings. I told them if they are able to get that taken care of in each of those different locations, they're going to start ranking very prominently in those different areas that they have physical locations in. There's other competitors of theirs that only have the, yeah, the reviews make a huge difference. But some of their competitors only have 1 location in Chicago, and they're struggling to get listed in some of these outer suburbs, whereas they already have physical locations. So Google uses that information about the physical location to produce results. So, Robin, if you took your location, you can actually change where you're searching from. And if she put in, I'm searching in Mendota and Illinois, and then set your location, then you could just put in
knowledge graph pops right up.
Yeah, and then put in your search term. Just put in HVAC distributor. So I don't know if that particular listing is okay. So we see that we got some places showing up here, but as they work on getting the reviews and citations, they could really dominate in this.
Looks like there's very little competition here. If I click on any of these, they don't really have anything filled out.
Right. So being able to get in here is going to be super easy for them, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
And by not having anything filled out, I can see there's no pictures, there's no hours, there's no, like, virtual tour. There's very little information in here. So.
Right. So just having more than your competitors really will skyrocket you to the top, especially in this kind of situation where there's just no competition. So just to show you what a really high competitive environment looks like, just search restaurant. And I know we're set to Mendota. We'll see what the competition of restaurants. I mean, even here, look at the restaurants.
Yeah, you can see that people have their Google pages filled out. They have reviews. They have pictures. And if we did more restaurants, I mean, you can see that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch concentrated downtown. So, and a lot of them don't even actually have their pages filled out. You can see that only some of them do. Some are just a blank map here.
You know what, Robin, I think for our next show, I'd like to talk about McHenry, Illinois, because I have a couple contacts down there that really want us to come out and talk about how we can get them on the map and help them that way. And I think if we did some evaluation of some of the restaurants and different businesses in town and record that show and send it over to them, I think they would enjoy some of our commentary and things.
Yeah, that'd be great. You can see that this is a great example of city center, or centroid, as SEOs call it. So I just typed in Chicago, Illinois, and why is it picking this as the best restaurant, and why are these the top 3 in Chicago? Well, first off, they're closest to city centroid, so you can see it's not listing restaurants up here in Chicago or down here or out west. So it's taking the center of Chicago and picking ones here, which can actually affect you in your town as well. If your town's much smaller, it's going to go with the restaurants in the city center first, and then it's going to go by reviews. So you can see that there's tons of reviews here. Also, it also depends on what time you search. So if some of these restaurants aren't open right now, they could not pop up as high in the search results. But you can see that there's tons of competition in Chicago. You have to have at least 400 reviews to even be considered on here, and a great rating. So you can see that even down here, I mean, to get 400 reviews is probably a little bit out of reach for a small business right away in the first few months. You also don't want to get too many reviews at one time, because it may look like might trigger some red flags at Google saying that you have too many reviews at once. Maybe, there's some sort of black hat technique that you used. But you can see that GT Fish and Oyster here has 98 reviews. Within a few months, if you do, 10 or 20 reviews a month, you could get up to that pretty easily. And you can see that there's so much competition here. Now we have the Zagat rating as well for restaurants. And I mean, if I click on any one of these, you're going to have a ton of information here. They have Street View, they have the photos, they have even reservations. They have tons of information that you can use from here, and the reviews have keywords in them as well. You can see crisp pork belly, delicious, base scallops. So keywords in your reviews are great.
So delicious. Um, if you click down some of these different restaurants here, Robin, I'm curious how many of them have the virtual tour. Just photos, Frontera. See,
Frontera
okay.
does. Avec does. These are all restaurants that like I really want to go to but can't afford. I've been to like some of them, but not definitely not like Alinea. It's
Just
two hundred
go
fifty
go in
dollars a
and
plate here.
just go in for a
Inside.
cocktail and see if you can get somebody to buy you dinner.
I know, I wish. And you also cannot go as a single in this restaurant. You have to buy an entire table.
Really?
Yeah. So if I wanted to go alone, I couldn't.
Ah.
Unless I bought two meals and ate them myself. Actually, the virtual tour is
They
kind
let
of
you
hard to move
peek into the
around.
kitchen,
Yeah.
but they don't let you go back there.
Let me see if I can get around. Okay, so it looks like that's just, it
That's all
looks like
they're
the
letting
dining
you.
room's
Can you go up the
upstairs.
stairs?
Yeah. Yeah, that's looks like where it might be.
And actually, the
Eh,
Google has new rules on the stairs. I read them about a couple weeks ago. The way that this is structured, you can see it's frustrating because you can't get up the stairs
yeah.
unless you get to the right spot. So they've implemented rules where you have to really have a panorama right in front of the stairs, halfway up the stairs, like all the way up. So there's I don't know if
Oh,
halfway up the stairs, but they definitely require a few more to make it more intuitive. And I think they're implementing something else where you can actually choose in the screen, okay, I want to go to the next floor, and you click on something and it brings you up to the next floor. So
yeah.
it seems to me on this one they just have this tiny little area. They don't actually have
Yeah, and
more
you
of it.
know what? It actually might be that they just wanted to show the front lobby and they didn't want to show the rest of the dining room
Right. You got to
for
pay
some
to get
reason.
in.
Yeah, but you can get a sense of it just from looking at here. It looks like probably just did the minimum amount of panos.
Right.
Oh,
Elevator to get in. Ooh. Ooh,
maybe
where
this
are
is
we?
it. Oh, that's the street.
Oh, that's the back entrance, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Well, let's wrap it up here. So again, the our events, the awesome dynamic show slash webinar is every single week. We do it on Thursdays. Today was at 12:30. Next week's at 3 p.m. These times are central. So you're welcome to come to awesomedynamic.com. You're able to find the webinars there. And if you have a Google account, you can log in with that Google account, ask us specific questions about your presence. If we don't have any questions, we're always going to talk about something interesting, new information we know about what Google is doing. We'll evaluate different businesses, talk about what they could do to improve their businesses. I was also thinking, Robin, we could have a guest on the show too. I think there's a
Oh
couple
yeah.
people that I know that we could have in as guests, and they could ask live on the webinar on the show some of the different things we can do to improve them, and I think that would be a neat format for this. We also, right in front of on Robin's screen here, we have the Awesome Dynamic Academy. This is launching next week. Membership starts at $49 a month, and there's a 30-day free trial. There's over 150 lessons that Robin has written with the assistance of Blake and some other folks on our staff to put those together. And this will help you learn every little thing that you need to do to get yourself found online. There's a lot of information in there. All you need is time, and you're able to go into the lessons. There's videos, there's step-by-step instructions in some cases, and you're able to come to these webinars, ask your specific questions, and
And this is free right now. We're giving away some free trials.
right.
If you just go to awesomedynamic.com and you click on search engine optimization right here, um, you can sign up for free for 6 months to help us test.
All right. And then wanted to give away a neat special today. So if anybody watches this webinar, and even if it's a year down the line and you watch this webinar and you're located in our local area, putting some terms and conditions on here, so we're only driving about 30 minutes from our base of operations, which is northern Lake County, and you say, Paul, on that webinar that you help Black Diamond Charities, you said that you'd give away a 30% discount on a virtual tour. I will honor that. So if you mention that to me for August 27th, the Black Diamond Charities Awesome Dynamic Show 30% discount on the virtual tour, then we will get that done for you at 30% off. So any additional comments, Robin or Blake? Anything that you'd like to add?
SEO is very important.
Yes, it is.
No, I think that's it. You guys covered a great show today. I have a lot of
Okay.
notes for anyone that wants to review. You can
Good.
check out our YouTube channel too for past webinars, great information, and other resources.
Absolutely. And if Robin, you want to go to the Awesome Dynamic Academy and show where those webinars are posted?
Sure.
So awesomedynamicacademy.com. Click on the webinars, and then you'll see the webinar from last week. We have Braples, and this one's going to be Braples.
It's like apples, but with
I know.
Braples.
I was. I didn't know how to pronounce the first time, but you can see Blake's show notes, so we got all the information on there, and you're able to watch that webinar, all the valuable.
Yeah, if you want to know how to do Google authorship, it's right here. We've got tons of stuff right here. How to do your own SEO.
Right. All right. Well, without any further ado, goodbye, everyone. Cheers, and until next time, next Thursday at 3 p.m. Central, come to awesomedynamic.com, click on the RSVP or Register Now button, and we will see you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.